Hey ladies, I am going to ask you one question. Are you attracted to thugs? If you are attracted to thugs or you like dating thugs, this video message is for you. And I especially want my young little sisters to view this video message. The reason why I'm making this video message is because now we see the world perpetuating the thug life. And men who are thugs, they are criminals, they sell drugs, they are feared by other men or people in a neighborhood. That is looked at as exciting, it's looked at as enticing, it's looked at as inviting, and sometimes, unfortunately, the guy who is a gentleman, the guy who is saved, the guy who is peaceful, does not like to fight, the guy who likes structure and order, or the guy who has stability in his life is looked at as the lame. And I also want to tell you all that many women in the kingdom of God also have been known to be attracted to, date, or even marry a man who is a thug. Now, this video message is not for everybody. It may even be weird or unusual for a lot of you all because nobody really talks about this. But I want to talk about it and I want to expose it because a lot of times when women in the body of Christ connect with these types of men, you have what they call a mother goose syndrome. And that mother goose syndrome comes from you wanting to care for and nurture I guess, what you feel is a broken man. Now, before I get to the rest of the video message, let me just tell you guys something. There's a saying that people have, and I don't really know if I necessarily agree with it. I agree with it to a certain extent, but not 100%. And the saying is, you attract who you are. And so people feel like if you have certain types of people that are always wanting to be associated with you, or they want to be connected with you, or they want to be around you, it's because there is something coming from you. It's something that you give off that is familiar to them or is similar to them. But I can definitely tell you all the reason why I beg to differ a little bit when it comes to that is because I tell you all the time that the darkness is attracted to the light. And a lot of people who came from they come from a very negative, abusive, rough, or heavily rejected background, they will want to be associated with or connected to someone that gives off a sense of comfort, peace, safety, and order. They are drawn to that. It has nothing to do with necessarily you internally going through those similar things, but it could just be the way that you simply carry and conduct yourself. It can be people that are the total polar opposite who are naturally drawn to your light. But ladies, let me tell you something. And like I said, I want my young sisters to listen to this. When you are a particular age, what you were attracted to and what you desire, it changes as you get older. So initially at the age of maybe 15, 16, 17, 18, and I'll even go as far as say 20, you probably are drawn to or desire certain types of men. You probably like the edgy men, the men or the guys that are rough around the edges, and you shun away the guys who are more clean cut, who are very respectful, who dress nice, their pants are pulled up, and they want to treat you like a queen. A lot of women, they shun that. There are even middle-aged and older women. They shun men who are gentlemen. Now, all women don't do this, but some women do. So in those cases, I can't necessarily say that internally something is going on with you all where you all want these type of men in your life. I'm not going to say that, but I can say that sometimes a man who lives the criminal life, or a man who is out in the streets and he's considered tough, he's considered rough, and people fear him, it can come off like it is a very exciting life. Now, one thing I will say is that I believe women, those of you who seem to be drawn to thugs or men who are considered the bad boys, you could possibly be drawn to them because internally, now in this sense, this is when I say something internally could be going on. Something internally could be going on within you spiritually. And I can tell you, as God begins to deliver you, as God begins to mature you spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, and as you get older and you live more life, your desire and attraction to certain caliber of men should be changing. It should be changing, ladies. And I'm saying this again, especially to my younger sisters. It should be changing, because what you wanted at 18, 19, and 20, once you get 23, 24, 25, 28, or even 30, that should not necessarily be the same thing you are drawn to, especially if you know it is not good for you. And I understand, ladies, that some of you all, you come from a very rough upbringing. Your father may have been a drug dealer. He may have been in and out of jail or institutionalized. You may have had uncles or your brothers were institutionalized and they were in and out of jail. They were always fighting. They were on drugs. They were alcoholics. Or you saw a lot of abuse by the hands of a man in your life, whether it was a father, a grandfather, an uncle, or whoever. And so sometimes subconsciously, when you see a man who is the opposite of violence and crime, you are not attracted to him. Now, in that sense, I really believe that some women, unknowingly, they will have their eye on that type of guy. If you have never seen, while you were growing up, a man who opens doors for women, if you did not see your father properly and appropriately love your mother, you saw your father call your mother out her name, you saw your father hit your mother, you saw your mother bringing in groceries, you saw your mother taking out garbage, you saw your mother pumping gas, you saw your mother struggling, you saw just your mother working, but you never saw your father doing this. In that sense, sometimes I do believe in certain cases that women will be more accepting and comfortable dating those types of men who do not do any of those things as well. And so when you see men who open up doors for women, you see men who buy women flowers, you see men that even if you make them angry, they are still respectful of you and they call you what your name is. They are not disrespectful to you. They uplift you, they compliment you, and they really mean it. Sometimes I've seen so many women just not be impressed or moved by that. It's just something about a man sometimes that is a thug that will even sexually arouse certain types of women. I talked about this in a live that I think I did last week, and I told you all I was going to be making this video message because so many Christian men have come to me and they are curious. They want to know why women are attracted to the thugs. And so what I'm saying to you all, if you have a man in your life that is a drug dealer, ladies, he sells drugs, he's in the streets, you always bonding him out, he's always fighting, his pants are sagging, he's rude, he's ignorant, he's getting into it with other women and threatening them. He's quick to try to put his hands on you, or he's quick to try and put his hands on other women. This is something that you all need to really start paying attention to, and you have to ask yourself, why am I attracted to these types of men? Why am I attracted to thugs? If you are a woman or a young lady who did not grow up in a household where you saw your father or males in your life, male authority, abusing women or disrespecting women, now you got to dig inside of yourself. In a sense, this is where I partially believe the saying that you attract who you are. This is where you have to now look internally and say, why do I have my eye on this guy that's the bad boy? Why do I want him? Why am I sexually aroused and lusting after this type of man? Where is that coming from? What I can tell you, ladies, is that now you have to soul search. Why is it that you get excited and happy or even feel safe around those types of men versus a man who came from a two-parent household, or a man who had a positive upbringing, or a man who wants to treat you like a queen? Why do some of you ladies laugh at men who are the good guy? That is what this video message is. I'm throwing different things out there because, like I said, people perpetuate the thug life, okay? And at one point, I was married to a man that was somewhat a thug, okay? He sold drugs, he was out in the street, he was the bad boy, he was in and out of jail. Different things were going on with that. But I noticed as I got older, and as God started to cleanse me and purify me and wash me and even change my life, I no longer really look at men that are considered thugs. I don't look at them in that sense. And so what I'm saying is that you, as you mature, you should want balance. You should want stability. You should want peace. You should not thrive off or desire drama. You should not thrive and desire someone to keep you on your toes to where they are unpredictable. Because, ladies, let me tell you something. You mess with these men that are thugs, you mess with these men that people fear, you got to understand that everybody can make a phone call. Everybody have somebody in their back pocket that can get with you. Your man, or the guy that you feel like is the thug, is not so feared that he cannot be taken down or conquered. And so the point that I'm making with what I just said is that you have to understand that when men are putting you in a position where your safety is compromised or jeopardized, or the safety of your children are compromised or jeopardized, you now have to rethink, do I need to be connected to this man? What is happening with me? This situation is unsafe now. And I understand it's difficult to break away from a certain caliber of man if you really love him. And I'm not saying necessarily that a man who is considered a thug is an evil man. But all I'm saying is that, ladies, if you are attracted to a thug, now you have to ask yourself, this is an individual thing. You have to ask yourself, why are you attracted to men who are considered thugs? Women have gotten unalived because they were simply connected to the wrong man. Other women have approached women and jumped them and put their hands on them and threatened them because of a particular man they were connected to or associated with. So you ladies got to understand, you being drawn and attracted to these men who live the thug life, it's going to start to affect you and your life. It's going to start to have people look at you and perceive you to be a certain way. And this is serious. And so again, as you get older, and as God starts to do a new thing within you, if you are still finding yourself as a Christian woman or a saved woman or a woman who is educated, a woman who wants a quiet, peaceful life, or you are a positive woman, but you are drawn to the bad boy. You find yourself getting sexually aroused off the bad boy. I urge you to go to God to see internally what could be going on with you. I urge you to look at the background that you came from and what you saw going on in your home or in your household or with male authority figures that were over your life. If they were a guardian, if they were a parent, if they were a family member. Sometimes you have to revert back to this stuff. Or could it be that mentally and emotionally you are weak, and so you feel like a man who lives that lifestyle and comes from that, you are safer? Because let me tell you something, don't underestimate a man of God. Don't underestimate a man who is a Christian, who loves God, who goes to work every day, who reads his Bible, who opens up doors for women, who respects women, and who compliments you. Don't underestimate that type of man, ladies, and feel like you are not safe with that type of man. Don't underestimate him and feel like he won't go there if another man approaches you or threatens you or puts you in a position where you are in some type of distress. You guys got to stop making assumptions that people who are saved are weak or are stupid. A lot of people in the world, they feel like that. They feel like they can cut up and say what they want to Christian men and women. And because they are being humble and because they are being quiet and because they are being calm, that they are afraid of you or that they are weak. Or you can play games with them and manipulate them and take advantage of their good, kind heart and their empathy or sympathy. And you can take advantage of them and use them because they are stupid. So that is really what this video message is, ladies. Are you attracted to a thug? And if your answer is yes, why are you attracted to a thug? Was it because of your background? Is it because you saw men in your life as you were growing up conduct themselves a certain type of way? Why do you think a man who is involved in crime in the streets or he's disrespectful, why is he more appealing to you? Why are you drawn to him? Why do you want to be associated and connected with the bad boy over the good guy? You know, like I told you, ladies, if a man is a thug and he comes from a hard life, I'm not going to tell you, this is just me saying this, I'm not going to tell you to dispose of him, but I'm going to tell you to pay attention to what he's saying. What is that man saying as far as him wanting to change his life around? Because you can come across a man that's a thug. You can come across a man that's a bad boy. You can come across a man that has lived a very hard life in the streets and he has done some unspeakable things. But if you also hear that man saying, I don't want to live this life anymore. I want to change my life around. I don't want drama in my life. I want peace. I want stability. I want to be comfortable. I don't want to live my life looking over my shoulder and peeping around the corner. I don't want to have to avoid going out wherever I choose to go because I have enemies. If that man is working on changing his life, I'm not going to tell any woman to dispose of that man. But I'm going to tell you, ladies, to be more conscientious and aware of being drawn to these types of men. You have to be more aware of that. Just like men are attracted to bad girls. Not all men, but there are some men, they are drawn to really rude, ghetto, ignorant women. They get sexually charged up and aroused of women that are loud, of women that are calling them out of their name, of women that hit them. They seem to just go to that, and it could be because they had a mother that was volatile. They had a mother that hit them. They had a mother that disrespected them and called them out of their name. I mean, I can't speak for each one of you all's individual upbringing, but I am bringing awareness to this topic because a couple of my guy friends have said that women will laugh at them and women will dismiss them and say that they are too much of a good boy, and they'll see them ride off with a man who is a thug or who is the bad boy. And ladies, I'm gonna tell you, the downfall of women who mess with thugs, your reputation can get damaged. Again, people have a negative perception of you. Your safety can be compromised or jeopardized. You miss out on certain opportunities because of who you are dating or who you are sleeping with or who you are connected to. Okay? I want you to be aware of that. And also, another downfall is that a lot of those men who live that hard, negative lifestyle, they have gotten unalived, or they lose their freedom and they go to jail. Because you guys got to understand, you could be the man all you want, and you could sell drugs all you want, and you could be in the streets, and you could go in and out of town, and you doing this and you doing that to make money. But at the same time, you cannot continue for the rest of your life to live this lifestyle. A lot of men who have lived that lifestyle, eventually it gets shut down. They get caught. They get arrested and they go to jail. And if you sat back and you allow that man to be the complete breadwinner, okay, which I do believe men are supposed to be providers, but if he was providing for you and you were a stay-at-home mother, or you were the girlfriend that didn't have to do a lot but look cute, if that man got unalived or he got caught and he goes to jail, everything is left to you and you are going to struggle. I'm going to share something with you guys. I'm not going to go deep into details about it, but I had a family member, God rest his beautiful soul. This was my little cousin. He got unalived last year, and he lived a rough lifestyle. Unfortunately, he still got unalived. We don't know all the details to that, but he had changed his life shortly before he got unalived. He changed his life around. He started, as far as I know and from what I was told, he was working a legitimate job. All the money he was bringing in was legal. But because of his past and because of things he did in his former life, there were still enemies and people that were lingering around and that were out there. And so a situation kicked off. He has 4 children, and now he is no longer here. And the mother of his children, there was a lot of struggle there because he was handling a lot. And so I'm using part of my transparency, and I'm giving you ladies different information just to put something on your mind for you to sleep on, for you to reckon with, for you to ponder on. I'm not here to place judgment or conviction on any of you. I just, again, want to bring awareness. I want you all to start paying attention to certain emotions and feelings and desires and even attractions that come to you. You got to be real with yourself, and you got to be real with the Almighty. You have to be real with God, and you have to tell God, God, I'm attracted to him because of this, this, and this. Or if you don't understand why you are attracted to those types of men and you shun the good guys away, you still need to be in the face of God and ask God to give you that revelation if you don't know why. That is the video message. I hope this helps some of you ladies. I hope it brings more clarity to you ladies. And I hope that my young little sisters that view this, I hope that you all start to pay more attention to being connected and dating the bad boy. I'm going to tell you again, don't discount or underestimate the good guys. Don't do it. Don't take them for being weak. Don't always take them for being a lame. Don't always take them as being stupid. There are some Christian men that will get down out here in the streets if they are pushed to that point. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have been offended by anything I spoke about in this video message, it's okay, it's all right. I'm not worried about it. I am not concerned because I know you will forgive me in the morning.